Powered by Virginia Radio.
Good evening, everyone. I've made flowers. Today is Wednesday, the middle of the week. I hope it has met you well, and if not, I hope you have persevered through um, the enemy and the wickedness is at an all-time high, right? So you just got to make sure you stay aware, stay conscious in this time, stay alert in this time, pay attention in this time. Do not not pay attention. Stay on God. It behooves you. It's in your best interest. If never before, at this time, we must, it's a must, be aware and pay attention. I did want to start off with that, with all the wickedness that is going on in the world present day. We have to really stay prayed up, stay in tune with whatever our spiritual being is, and really lift up. Really. Okay. Sorry. But not sorry. Look, and if you said. So, Mayflowers, I hope you are blooming well. And I hope all is well. So tonight we have a very, very special guest. She's so phenomenal. She is Nairobi Brown, Queen Nairobi Brown, multifaceted lady of all the hats, all the accolades, and all of the power. She is so dope and so awesome. Um, and we're gonna have an interview with her tonight, unfolding of her. Yes, the unfolding of her. Oh, remix. Okay. So, good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, I am Nairobi Brown. I don't know.
Okay.
Put it out me. I'm Nairobi Brown on Facebook. Chef Nairobi on Instagram.
Chef. Another hat.
Wally is Way on Instagram.
Huh. Another hat.
Passion and Poetry on Instagram as well.
Another hat. She
And
act like
Facebook.
she don't know. You know you are phenomenal. So let's dive in to your nonprofit. That's what we're gonna go to.
All
Tell me
right.
a little bit about that.
Well, my nonprofit, it's called Wally is Way. And that was named after my daughter. And remember, I was telling you the story about how I had a 16 month old daughter that passed away back in August 15th, 2012. And of course, it took me a while to kind of get out of all of that, not believing that that happened. So it took me a while, and God has pulled me out of it. So that's how I started my nonprofit. And that's helping families with baby items, Pampers, anything that they need.
That's
Because
awesome.
for me, and that came from Walia, because she was supposed to be a boy, and when I pushed her out, she was a girl. So you can imagine the stuff that I had thinking I was gonna have a boy. So I'm like, I had to get all this stuff donated to me, because she was a girl. So that's what that's based off of, just being able to help families, give them items that's donated. Some things are used, but I like new things because I like to give people good, quality
That's
things.
great. I love that.
So we are asking for
Oh,
donations.
yes, I was just about
All
to
the
ask
time. We're
that.
always taking donations.
And where can they donate at?
They can inbox me. They can
Inbox.
find because on Facebook, my Nairobi page, I have pages under that as well. They can find my Wally's Way page, and they can message me. My business number is up there, so they can message me. They can call or text me, and just let me know, and I do pickups.
You hear it? So
Yeah.
if you have any items that you would like to go out and buy and donate, or any gently used items
Yes,
that you would like to
please.
donate, come and donate them for the great cause. That's an awesome because
I call them mommy care bags. So I try to ask the person what is it they specifically need, and just put it together and call it a mommy care bag or daddy care bag, because there's single dads out there that need the help too.
Exactly.
So it's for all mothers, fathers, families. So, um,
That's awesome. That's
and
awesome.
also under the Wali's Way, I've I wouldn't call it just necessary bereavement meetings, but my good friend Joseph Kelly has allowed me to use his establishment to
Big
have
shout outs.
yes, shout out to Uncle Joseph Kelly. um, Once a month I have a thing called Walee's Seven Happy Hour Live 757 presents Walee's Ways Ladies Nights. So I used to go to the bereavement meetings, and a lot of times people don't want to talk. You know, you're there, and that's what you're going there for, to talk. And I remember I would shut down when I would go to the bereavement meetings. You know, it's meetings. So I was thinking to myself, like, you know, it's people out here not just for the loss of a child or children, but everyone has lost something. So that's what these ladies' nights are about. It's about women coming together, uplifting each other.
Okay.
Um, because the way that I may try to heal myself, I may be able to help you do it.
Okay.
So it's women coming together.
So you created a new atmosphere.
Yes, yes.
Created a new atmosphere.
And each month is a different theme.
Oh,
So
sounds interesting. So is this only for bereavement?
no, like I said, at first that's what, you know, when I did Walee's Way, that's what I was going for, the bereavement for parents losing children. And then I just, you know, when you come up with something, you always go back and you revamp it.
Exactly.
So just thinking about how it was when I was going to the bereavement meetings after I lost Walia, even within those meetings, I felt like kind of an outsider, because how majority of the women were losing their children compared to how I lost mine. And then I'm like, it's meetings, and sometimes it's like you got to pull yourself sometimes to get up and go, because you already know what it's going to be about. I'm going to dump all this ugliness that's inside. So with the ladies' night, I just revamped it. And Uncle Joe always say, make sure when you have it, you stay on concept. But I want it to be fun. So instead of calling it bereavement meetings or a meeting for someone to come and talk about your feelings or things that you're going through, why not call it ladies' night?
More intriguing.
Right, it's more intriguing, it's more interesting.
And it's uplifting. It gives it a better feel when you're coming to it. It
right.
gives it a upbeat. I get it.
Right. So
yeah, I get it.
the first one that we had, it was just introducing what ladies' night was about, and that night was it. It came together and it was beautiful. It was nice. I mean, we had women. You know, I had somebody that came, and she was like, well, I just came to support. I'm not going to stay that long or the whole time. She ended up staying the whole time because of the atmosphere, the great vibes, the other women that were there. And it was like we just started pouring into each other. We started pouring out ugliness and pouring back into each other, like helping this person to deal with this, or, you know, just giving each other good ideas of how to deal with different things that they were talking about that night. And great food, because I have a friend that she's a chef. Her name, shout out to Nikki Fields. So
shout out.
She's collaborated with us in supporting me to cook for the ladies every time we have the ladies' night. And she's such a great chef. I'm like, you introduced me to different things that I always said I'm not gonna try that. So I'd say you in charge of the menu, because I want people to come out and experience different things that they, you know, maybe first time tasting it, and she's a great chef, so they're gonna like it. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So, how does a nonprofit then tie in to and the why? Oh, matter of fact, you didn't show us because that ties into your.
Yeah, this is my concept of Walee's Way and the Walee's wardrobe. This was her first birthday outfit, and this was hers. This is exactly what she wore. So I have onesies. I have jean jackets, jean vests. Yes, tutus that come. I didn't bring any of the onesies, but I do have onesies that has my different brand of Walee's wardrobe that can come with the tutu. Shout out to Damian Boyd. He's my guy that does all of my
shout outs.
My t-shirts and my designs, and help me with my brand. This is a jacket. Okay. Walee's wardrobe. So for the younger kids, I put patches up there. But I have adults that have seen my jean jacket that I didn't wear today, but also this jacket that I have for Walee's wardrobe. Okay. And for the adults, you know, I was always in the 80s, the pen fans of the jean jacket. So The adults jacket come with different pins up there with different sayings, but that's for Walea's wardrobe.
Okay, y'all see it. Get her out there.
I revamped that as well because at first I was just going to do the onesies and the tutus, but I just started thinking
And show them this other piece you have. I like
this is the sweatshirt for toddlers and babies. This is one of the bigger size, but it's also Walea's wardrobe. With free to fly, that's my saying. You know, like Nike, just do it. Walea's wardrobe is free to fly with a butterfly. And butterflies are dear to me and my children because at her gravesite, when I came to, my children said that it was a lot of butterflies that day on at the gravesite, and for the rest of that summer, they felt like they kept seeing a lot of butterflies. And you think about a butterfly.
Come on now, talk about it.
Before it becomes a butterfly, it's a what?
It's a
Caterpillar. And you know, it's not so cute and not so pretty. But you have to go through different stages and you go into that cocoon, and once you come out of that cocoon, which is the ugly stage, you come out a beautiful butterfly.
Metamorphosis. Let's
Metamorphosis.
talk.
When it first happened to Ali, I was that caterpillar. And God had different things happen, and I was that ugly caterpillar for a long time, and things just started happening. I started losing people. You know, God takes people away sometimes for you to go through that stage, and in that within that cocoon, I still feel like I'm in that cocoon. You know, because I'm still at the beginning stages of healing. I didn't realize that I didn't heal from her and a lot of other things, and I'm still within that cocoon, but I know once I come out of that cocoon, I'm going to be a beautiful butterfly.
Yes, you definitely will, because you're already a beautiful cocoon. Hey, but I must see your wings.
You can see my wings
out
and all my pretty colors.
You know, that's dope.
Yeah, so my Walea's Way, the colors for my nonprofit is all the colors within her tutu.
Oh.
So that's why you'll see a lot of pink and a lot of turquoise and purple and yellow. It's all based off of her tutu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so inspiring though. The way that you took your pain and you made it purpose. The way that you took your grief and instead of just wallowing in your grief, even though I get you for a time, you did.
Oh,
yeah, I get you. And that's understandable.
Right, Uncle Joe, in Montegos and woo, yes, I did for a long time.
And I get it. But look at what you're doing now though. See, yeah, the past was the past, but the past, it molded you and it pushed you some type of way for you to get here.
Right.
For you to get here. Look at your accomplishments thus far. For you to be here and wear all of these hats. Because the hats don't stop. The hats just started. So I see where the push was. And isn't this like, were you doing any of these things before that?
I was
the loss? I don't.
No, I wasn't. A lot of people don't know this about me. I suffer with depression. So before her loss, I was already dealing with depression. Stemming, a lot of depression with adults stem from a childhood, and then things that happen as adults. I lost a lot of family members, and I feel like when I lost Walea, that was just the cherry on top of everything. So I wasn't doing any of this. And then after Walea passed away, I just felt like I was going down spirally. Had family members try to come and talk to me. I had an intervention with family members. I wasn't trying to listen because that was pain that it's like a left hook.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
It was a left hook, and 6 months prior to that, I lost my mom. So I was in the feeling like I lost my womb, and 6 months later, I lost something that was a part of my womb. So it was left hook, right hook. So no, I wasn't doing any of this.
So, with knowing that though, and I know all of that, I can't suffice with anything, but it seems that this has propelled you in such a way, like your pain has really brought you purpose. And not saying that you should have indulged or had to go through the pain. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it seems as if your pain has really pivoted you to the next point, this rising star that you are. You have so many different attributes, and I just want to commend you for your courage, your braveness, and your boldness, and your strength.
It was God.
Huh.
I
Talk about
finally
it.
had to turn to Him.
Talk about it.
I was feeling the test at first because I turned to going out all the time and drinking. And you know, when God has something set up for you, even though you don't know,
Huh.
no matter you going left, He's going to continue to make things happen and pull you right. So even though I'm continuing to go left and go far away from Him, He allowed things to happen. Like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. And it got to a point where I felt like I lost everybody that was close to me. I felt like we had fallen out, and it got to the point where even though I have my children, I love them, adore them, they saved me from a lot. Um, I'm their mother, so they look up to me.
Yes.
So it wasn't that I could lean on them. I never feel like I leaned on my children lean on me. So I got to a point where I was by myself and I cried, couldn't understand it. And He started showing me, this is why you're by yourself. And I started taking accountability.
Great word.
Which is a hard word for a lot of people to understand.
Come on now, talk about it.
So within my depression, and then it was the woe was me, the why me, and everybody else, and within that loneliness, it was no, it's not all. It hasn't been, and it's not always everybody else.
Come on now, talk about it.
I had to start taking accountability of being a better servant to God,
Huh.
being a better mother to my children,
Yes.
being a better daughter, being a better aunt, a better cousin, a better friend, better sister, like all of that.
Yes, it starts with you. That's right, though. That's right.
So within those doors opening, it's like He just started opening up a lot of other things, and I had to be okay finally to say that physically, yeah, I was by myself. I didn't have a lot of people I could talk to or go out with. But one thing that we never understand is we're never by ourselves.
Nope. God is always present.
And that's what He started showing.
That He didn't leave you nor forsake you. Ain't He awesome? Girl, ain't He awesome?
And within that period of time, Uncle Jordan, because you know, everybody wasn't that we had a falling out. It's just that I understand people have their own life. But my friend Joseph, we got back, you know, being close again, and then you lose some people to gain others.
Come on, say it.
And I met this wonderful woman named Tanya Dale. And it's crazy how I met her because I made a new Facebook page. This is a new Facebook page. My old Facebook page is Kiba Brown, very depressing, and putting all my business up there. So when I started going through this process, I said I had to come up with another Facebook page. And so I needed friends. And she was like, well, how did we meet? And, you know, and I'm like, I just saw her profile picture. And remember we was talking about everything we touch has energy.
Yeah.
I felt her energy through her profile picture. And I felt like she was her picture at the time. I was like, she's a pretty lady. And I felt that energy. Her stance in that picture was very powerful. And I just asked to be her friend. And she accepted it. And she posts positive stuff every day. And one day in November 2020, right before Thanksgiving, she had went live and said, if there's anyone out there that needs help to start a nonprofit, reach out to me. And that's how it all got started with the she helped me. She held my hand step by step, and we became friends.
Perfect. God's perfect time, baby. Okay. So, I love it. So, let's talk about, excuse me, how this pushed you forward to being an author. Come on, let's talk about that.
That was actually my oldest son, Tariq Brown. Shout out to my oldest son. I am Tariq Brown on Instagram and Tariq Brown on Facebook. So he got out of his funk, started blooming. He got into modeling. And with the modeling, he took his feelings and turned it to words. So it actually inspired by my oldest son. He wrote his first book called Serenity. And I read it. And then he had a second book. and I read bits and pieces of that before he published it. And 2020, December 2020, on their winter break, I'm telling them, I'm like reading his stuff, like, boy, just joking with him. You got your writing skills from your mama, because I used to write poetry when I was in high school. I said, matter of fact, I think I got some of my old poems, and I found them, and I started reading it to them. I was like, maybe I should start writing again. I wasn't too bad in high school. And it's like that night, all of them ended up falling asleep, and I went to Canva. That's a app that you can do different designs and stuff, and I just did one, and it was weird because I wasn't intentionally trying to do anything for Walia, but I guess because those feelings were still sitting there and that purpose, God already knew that purpose. I did one affirmation, and then it turned into a poem, and I think I almost finished that book that night. I stayed up till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and I came up with Her Darkness Grew Here. So I was really inspired by my oldest son.
Come on, shout out Tariq.
Tariq Brown.
Tariq Brown.
His book is Serenity and Pure Thoughts.
Come on now. For inspiring your mama. Yes, inspiration is all around you, from within, from outside. Come on now.
The poems and affirmations, it felt good to come out with my book when I finally held it. And then Uncle Joe hit me up and he said, you need to come on out to, before it was West Tavern, it was the Starving Artist. Okay. He was having open mic. And I took my book, and Tariq came with his book, and I went up there and I picked a poem that I wanted to read from my book. Everybody else before me was like uplifting, and I said, Tariq, you sure I should do this poem? And he was like, Mommy, it's your feelings. And I read the poem from her book, and it was like everybody loved it, but you could tell it kind of hit in the heart, like, ooh, kind of changed. I was like, oh. So after that night, it made me go home to kind of change up some of my poetry, because I'm like, I don't want it always to be sad. So that's how I started shifting, and it kind of went back to my writings to when I was in high school, but more mature.
Okay.
And like I was telling you before we went live, how my parents were into all the African stuff with the Kiba, Nairobi. So just stemming from my dad having that library that he used to make us go and get books from, you'll understand that, that's how I came up with a lot of poems that is still inside of me when it comes to our people. So
that's dope. I mean, but that's dope though. You may not have appreciated it then, may have seemed a little out of whack then, but look at what it has done. The foundation was already built. Mm-hmm. You just had to build upon the foundation, and it was a solid one. So that's dope. Shout out to the parents. So let's talk about this.
So after I wrote Her Darkness Grew Here, dedicated to Walia, I couldn't turn my brain off. And I know you're a creative person. Once your brain hit that power button, you can't turn it off. So I ended up writing this book. And that's just different poems and affirmations. And I put that my son is my editor and my publisher. So
come on, son. Boss. I love it.
He does all my books, so that's how I came up with that one. And the ball is rolling. I got another one he's putting together for me. So I can't turn it off now that it started. And speaking of affirmations in that book, no, come on, I got something from out of that book that's for you.
Okay.
And that came from one of my
y'all
affirmation from out of that book.
Let me see. The light is within you. Is tired of being hidden. Girl, you better touch my spirit. You better touch.
Actually, all of this right here is for you. Since we talked about Walia's Way and Walia's wardrobe, you got stuff in here for
I'm
you.
sorry, I don't want to put this in front of you, but I got to show that this is so dope. So
no, I don't want to skip past this and quit. Okay, so you put the mic down.
Oh, because I was going to receive it. Okay, so let me tell y'all what I got. She wrote me to tell
pamphlets.
I got pamphlets.
Just talking more in detail about Walia's Way.
Okay, look, y'all. I have something for you. You know I be everywhere in the city. So if you're interested, I'm going to post one up. If you're interested in getting one physically, inbox me. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a lot of stuff.
Business card. That's my business card for my nonprofit.
I got it this way. You see it? I'm going to post these later.
And you see, Walia's, I turned her name into an acronym.
Welcoming a lasting improvement, you accept it. Hold on. Welcoming a lasting improvement, you accepting healing. Okay, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
She is phenomenal, y'all. Let's see.
And easy for you.
Okay, I was showing them stats too, but I
Okay.
just want to put this back first because I see it's at the bottom. What
That's
is
for
that?
you too.
I be so excited when I get stuff, y'all. Ooh, I think it's a fly free.
Free to fly.
Free to fly. I love.
Shout out to Damien Boyd.
Free to fly.
He did all of this for me.
So where can they hit you up to get this? Tell them again.
You can inbox me, find my Walea's Way page through Nairobi Brown. And they can, like I said, they can inbox me through Walea's Way page, or they can find my business number up there as well. Text me or call me.
I love pens. I'm gonna write with these all the time.
And they write good.
In my heart.
I'm
I
a
love
pen person.
pens. Yes.
You write poetry, don't you? Poetry, write the songs. They love pens.
That's why I'm so shocked I didn't have a pen. Oh. Now I'm gonna tell you, my son is gonna get me for one of these. He loves probably this purple one. He loves these wristbands. He loves. Oh, I like these too, guys. They are so nice. Oh, I'm gonna get my money together so I can donate to this too. I love this. I love this so much. Purple my favorite color.
You gotta take the pink one.
Yes. So let's talk about, since we're talking about authoring right now. Can you and poetry?
I knew that was coming.
Yes. We're talking about authorship and poetry, and because we're doing so, I think it would be the best time to go ahead and recite that poem, Mel. Please and thank you.
I don't know which one.
Look, just let it. I told you it's organic. Just let it flow. Whatever you stop at and you feel like that's what you want to do it.
Let's see. Gotta go through it.
Unveiling the hats of Nairobi Brown. Big shout outs to my sponsor, Malika TBD. Thank you, baby. I love you. Major shout out. It's okay. And if y'all would like to call in, y'all can call in. The number is 757. 757-946. What is it? I done messed it up. 757-964-9367. 757-964. No, 934. Yeah, 964-9367. I don't know. I had a brain fart or something, guys. Y'all know I know that number. Yes, it's in the comments as well.
I should have already had it.
Yeah, you're fine. Shout out to Power by Virginia Radio for always extending the olive branch to me to come up here and have my show. Tspills. So I hope you guys got a cup that's empty, or you might want to go ahead and drink it because she's about to fill it up. All right, introducing Nairobi Brown.
This one is called Tribute to a Black Mother. Mama ain't raising no thugs. Don't classify me as one. Bloodlines with activists, leaders, inventors, just to name some. Mama ain't raising no thugs. Don't view me as such. Teaching me my culture, my roots, my heritage, so that I may have self-love. Mama ain't raising no thugs. Grooming me to love my existence, raising me with unconditional love, education, and intelligence. Mama ain't raising no thugs. When I look into the mirror, I'm in love with what I see. Teaching me to be the best because there's only one me. Mama ain't raising no thugs. She's raising a well-groomed human to be a gentle, loving gentleman. So for my wife, I can be her lover and best friend. With all my heart, love my family truly. Because become a stand-up man, achieve my fatherly duties. Mama ain't raising no thugs. Stop looking at my skin. Placing me within a category personalized and directed towards all black men. A stigma we are trying hard to break. Can't help that you've been mentally stimulated to believe such lies, to look down upon me and dislike my skin from the core, beyond what the media tries to paint us as prisoners, drug dealers, and baby daddies. I assure, we are husbands, fathers, teachers, doctors, lawyers, and so much more. When I'm in your presence or walk by, your purse you don't have to clutch. Your negative thoughts of me, I am far above because I come from a strong woman who ain't raising no thug. Now that is, I wrote that thinking about my boys. You know, I know people think like, she ain't no black man, but I love black men because I gave birth 5 of them.
Yes.
So this came from a point of view of my own boys. So that's why I wrote it, because I know I'm not raising no thugs, and women in my family ain't raising no thugs,
and I ain't raising no thugs,
and you ain't raising
no
every black woman is not raising no thugs.
I love it.
So that I was inspired to write that because of my own voice.
I love that. I felt that came from your heart. I felt the passion in the words, baby. I love it. Yes. I want you to write a saying though. Okay, I'm being selfish.
You all right? You all right?
I might get you to do it though before we get off, if you would like. So now we went to the authorship, the nonprofit, the poetry, the mothering, the inspiration. Let's talk about you being a model. That inspired for your son, huh?
Well, my like I told you, my beautiful mentor. Shout out to Tanya Dale.
Shout out.
She's a designer, actually, an awesome designer in the 757, and her brand is called She Wear. So every now and then she has pushed me and said, you know, I'm gonna have a photo shoot. You gonna model this. So she pushed me to model sometimes, but I'm not a model like my son, but I've done a few modeling things.
Yeah, all the hats, all the hats. Okay. So, with your nonprofit, do you have any major, I know I'm bouncing back and forth, you have any major events coming up, any dates that people need to know about for anything that you have going on?
Well, we did, but we postponed it. And we're looking towards August to have a community day with Walia's Way and Happy Hour Live 757. Actually, next Thursday, June 2nd, we're presenting Happy Hour Live 757 presents Thursday night's Nairobi's Passion and Poetry Night. So
I'll try to come.
We're having that next Thursday. You can sign up. You can go to my page, of Joseph Kelly page, and inbox if they want to sign up early, or just come there and sign up, or just come out to enjoy some spoken word from the heart. I cannot remember the address.
Give them the location name.
It's Sweet Royale in Portsmouth. On Detroit Avenue. What's the address?
Okay, Portsmouth.
Sweet
Okay.
Black-owned business, young brother, black-owned business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Sweet Royale.
Trying to raise up the community.
Yeah, that's dope. You're on that side of that town.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
in Portsmouth, Detroit
Street.
Street.
Is connected, you know.
Okay.
Even with
Poetry.
the Walia's Way Ladies Nights, that's every month. We have one that's June 11th. They're gonna love that one. I have 2 guest speakers coming out. It's this one is healing and forgiving.
Okay.
You know, wearing so many hats. As women, we all wear a lot of hats.
True.
And we don't give ourselves time to forgive ourselves and to heal. So the 2 guest speakers, they are coming out to help us with that. And between that, we're going to have a guy named Kenneth Johnson, I believe, is my oldest son's best friend. He plays the saxophone, so he's going to come out and play some jazz for the ladies.
Okay.
So that's June 11th.
June the 11th.
They have to inbox us, the RSVP, and actually get that location.
Okay, now. So you gotta.
Night.
So where do they have to go again?
They can inbox me, Nairobi Brown. They can inbox Joseph Kelly. They can find him on Facebook, or Nikki Fields on Facebook as well.
Okay.
Any one of us, they can RSVP for the ladies' nights.
Okay.
But the poetry, it's Happy Hour Live 757 presents on June 2nd, Thursday night, Nairobi's Passion and Poetry, hosted by Nairobi the Poet. Show starts at 7, and it's Sweet Royale Hot Dog and Poetry at 2622 Detroit Street, Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay, you guys, make sure y'all stay locked in. There's plenty of things to do. Our people are beautiful, and we are doing amazing and exceedingly things because God has given us the favor to do so. Look, it's awesome. So, Talking about God, your spirituality. You wanna talk about that and how does that affect, or if that affects how you move, or any of the hats that you wear?
Well, I'm Muslim, so my faith is Islam, and I I feel like a lot of people have been with God and then we out and then we back and forth with it. And like we were saying earlier, when it's meant for us and He wants us to be close to Him, He'll keep pulling us back to Him.
Most definitely.
And now that I'm really trying to be more dedicated to God and putting Him first with everything,
Come on.
I have to put Him first with everything because He's the one that's allowing
Come on.
all of these doors to open for me, and I put Him first and I give thanks to Him. With Islam, we pray 5 times a day. Not saying that's the only time we can pray, but is that making sure that I dedicate myself to put myself throughout the day back on that square. Because we do so much throughout the day, we forget. And it's like when I hear that call to prayer, I know it's time for me to stop everything that I'm doing and go back and give God His glory, praise Him, worship Him. And then that sets me back on square one to say, now you can finish your day remembering God.
Come on now.
So that has helped me tremendously getting my relationship striving, because we always strive until the day we go back to Him. Because we're in not one, we can for a whole month dedicate ourselves every single day, and then that one time, like you said, the enemy come and talk to us. Next thing you know, we got a cup in our hand, got a sip in our cup, and we forgetting about Him. So it's a everyday struggle, but I strive to always try to go back to Him when I fall off. So that is it. My relationship with Him definitely has helped me.
Yeah.
And I can't see anything else. Like, I don't want to go back to my old habits. I was telling my mentor, my idea of fun and dealing with the pain was going out to the clubs and drinking. And a lot of times I didn't even know how I was making it home. He could have took me then, car accident, anything. So I know, all glory is to Him.
Most definitely glory.
Because times I was waking up not knowing how I get home, and that was dangerous. That was a dangerous lifestyle. And I'm thankful now that, to me, that's not my way of fun. And I was just telling my mentor in her boutique that now my fun is, if I feel, because when I write poetry, I feel like this cloud of words just come. I feel like writing poetry is fun. Assisting her in her boutique is fun because she's a little older than me, so she gives me inspiration. And just being back there and listening to her stories and her way of healing through different things in her life, that's fun to me. Or going to events with her, or she has her fashion shows and we on grind time to get, that's fun to me. Hanging out with Uncle Joe, he's an inspiration, and doing different things with him is positive. So that's what's fun to me. And of course, weekend come, me and my children always find a reason to have a movie party. So that's fun. And then with all the craziness in the world, I don't want to be in them clubs like that. If they doing this in shoes, you can imagine alcohol mixed with partying, and people have they don't care about life anymore. So being in the safer places, that's what's fun for me. Where I know God is going to be at. That's fun.
Respect. I understand that. Well, I still like going out, y'all.
I know, I'm not.
No, I'm just saying, but I'm just wanting people to be clear. Because I'm saying,
right, but I'm just saying,
they might see me there.
No,
so listen, I still go to the club, y'all, because I like to dance.
No,
I'll be in the club with
I'm not
people
saying there's
dancing.
anything wrong with it, but I was in there like.
I know why, because your purpose was different. You were going there to get lost. I get it.
Yeah.
So I get. I'm not. No, but I just want because I was
right.
So I'm just honest. I'm going to be in the club. So watch out for me, baby. Now I ain't getting there to get drunk, but I'm gonna be in there.
I ain't saying no birthday party until you may see me.
But I ain't gonna go every night. I'm just saying.
But not like I used to.
But I get what you're saying.
I was living dangerously.
I get what you're saying. See, that was why I was got throwing a sense of humor.
Right. I like that too. Me too.
Lighten up a little bit sometimes when it get a little dark. Right. But I understand though. it's a duality. See, like for me, it's a duality because I get exactly what you're saying because I used to be in that space too to a certain degree for different reasons. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely get it, and it does change because I had started going to paint nights and all that stuff. I started supplementing it, putting more into myself, like you said, writing my poetry, painting my paintings, stuff like that. So you have to have different outlets for, because that's what people use things for. And I get what you're saying. The club is one of them. They use it as an outlet, and it's a wrong outlet if that's what you're using it for. An outlet for pain is not the right space because that makes sense. Pain, confusion, liquor, and one bad choice or decision or being loose too much and not knowing what's going on. You could be acceptable to anything in those spaces. I understand. I asked God a lot of times how I got. And I was young and dumb, just, trying to, you try to hang with the best of when you're young and dumb. You just want to keep on, you binge wrong out the cup full, but you just want to keep on. Right. That was the young and dumb stuff. So I get it on all levels though. Like, even if I don't, it was different, but I still understand where you're coming from. I just want to joke because they gonna see me at the club. But not all the time, but y'all know I pop up every once in a while. Every once in a while, I ain't gonna lie. And that is saying that you're lying. I'm just saying, like, I get it though, but I like things like you like now too though. More better. I like the spoken word I'm gonna try to come to on Thursday. Supporting black businesses, supporting events. Like I like going to anything empowering where I can learn something from. I've been going to a lot of those. I've been blessed to be like what you said. When you get pruned from certain things and people, whether it's pruning because they fell off, or is it pruning because God picked them off, or because of whatever reason, or because you picked them off, that He replaces you with better, He replenishes with better, and then a greater value, I should say. Yeah, better. A greater value, newer, because maybe better for this time of your life. Because all that saying got to be better.
It was that, like, because some people that I weren't speaking to, it returned back into my life, and I had to tell them, like, you were right. Like, one of my cousins, she was my best friend. Shout out to Tasha Tucker.
Shout out, cousin.
She's like her dad. They are very blunt. Not meaning to be mean, but, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. And then she's always been that way. But when I was in that space of being dark, her and her brother, her brother's older than her, shout out to Tonze Simmons, both of them would tell me, like, you can't always sit in this darkness.
And you didn't want to hear that.
Right, I didn't want to hear that. And they was like, we want to invite her, but we don't want to invite her because she always, woe is me, And at that time, I'm thinking they being mean. I didn't understand them. But when God pulled us away, and I had to take accountability for her and I not speaking then, and I had to reach out to her and say, look, I apologize. And not only for us not speaking, and I'm going to take it back some months, some years. I apologize because you were right. And now that I'm in this space, I have, I can see where they were saying like the Debbie Downers and that was me. And it's like, I get it now. Don't look for the sadness. Look for the healing. Yeah. And that's all. They love me. That's all they were rooting for me to pull myself out of there. Because my cousin always said, you got greatness, you had another poem today, let me hear it. So she's...
Yeah. Sometimes things do have to grow apart to grow back together. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that makes sense too. I can see that. I'm with that too. Yeah. Because sometimes we don't serve each other a purpose right there for whatever reason. Because it definitely can be us.
That one to hear what the people around got to say.
Yeah, it can definitely be us. The blockers of our own things. But yeah, glory to God that we cannot disqualify ourselves. We can delay it, but we cannot disqualify it. Mm-hmm. Ain't that great?
Yes.
Ain't that great? You see that's hot. Here,
no matter what it is,
you cannot
pull you back.
What? Come on, Leo. That's awesome. So, what's next for you? What is it that Miss Nairobi Brown would like to do next? What is it that you would like to do next that you haven't done? What is it that that you can share? Because I know some things you can't share yet.
I shared this with my mentor last week because she's another one. If I write a poem, I read it to her. And I said, Miss Tanya, I think I want to be an activist.
Come on now, I can see that. It's on you.
My poetry's about that. So she was telling me someone that she knows is on, in that services, and she wants to introduce me to them. So maybe that's what God has been setting me up for with at birth with the name Kiba Nairobi.
Exactly, because that's powerful. Yep.
So I would love to do that because nobody wants to be honest, but it's still there and for us.
Most definitely. It most definitely is still
It's
there.
still there.
Most definitely. It never went away.
What happened, 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago with the shooting at the grocery store?
Come on.
And it seemed like he's only getting this.
The way he got pulled out was only a that. If it would have been one of us with nothing, just assaulting somebody, no weapon, they would have went crazy, ape shit on him. But because he had a weapon, see, we gotta understand. So I'm gonna drop this one Jew because I'm not gonna make this the whole thing, but I'm gonna drop this one Jew. If you look back at policing did not come about. Now, Bobbies were about in Massachusetts or Boston, but no policing came about until after slavery was over. I'm just gonna drop that Jew right there, and then you can catch it. I don't know because I can't go too far on that because this is your show. But I'm just saying, guys.
If they catch it, they'll understand it.
So when you understand that, it's not that I'm saying let's turn a blind eye to it, but we have to redirect our anger. But like we talked about, because that mindset has perpetuated in such a way in which they have designed for our own very destruction. See, they sit back and they done planted all the seeds and they let us destroy ourselves now. Because the mind is different.
Right.
All the dividers.
Like we was talking about with the ice cream thing. Remember that conversation we had? And I was like, well, I understand it. I wouldn't buy it. And you know, they pulled it. Did you know that?
That's good.
And they in Walmart sent out a heartfelt apology. But it's like we was talking about. We can't pick and choose our battles. And we going to fight and say they exploit us and make money off of us. And y'all not going to support that. But let's stop supporting the music that make us look bad.
Come on, because they make money off of us on that. On the hellified skin.
They don't want, we talking about the ones, not they, but you know, the ones in the music industry and what they push and they're making money off of that. So let's start with that.
Let's start with a lot of things. Let's start with this television.
Right.
The programs that
they put.
And then if we think about it, let's go back. Oh, the massive. Let's think about The Simpsons. The Simpsons was a kid or a family show. Came on prime time. That was we should not have no business, but we didn't have the mind that they have because we didn't have the internet or the medias like they have, so that exploited, they opened their mind up. It was like a cherry. They cherry got popped way early to everything mentally than ours ever did. Mentally, at whatever age they cherry can get popped. There's no age range because people get their babies phones and they can do whatever they want to because these kids are. They say they get wiser as the time go. They're wiser than us in that area. Now they're a little slower with us with common sense, but they're wiser than us in the area of technology, right, and advancements in that way.
So the things that they can discover
is way different. So that's why. At this time, because even though nothing is new under the sun, that's why I went to go to say about The Simpsons, but that's why at this time it perpetuates at a faster and more alarming rate and a more devastating rate because we don't pick and choose right in the way that they have. My bad. Okay, I'm going to digress. Come on.
You know, we can
I'm
go
crazy.
route.
Yeah, and I want to go over my time. Look, and I want to take your time. Look, because you know we can talk about this, man. This is it. Okay. Can somebody give me a time check? Anybody know? Okay, 7 o'clock. What's up, Wes? In the building. This is exclusive. But then and I don't need to just leave it like that in the air. So I guess we can wrap it up together.
Right.
Because that's not something you just leave in the air. Let's pick and choose better. Let's pick and choose with a lot of things. Don't just the money. Don't let the people take your lack and use it against you. Listen, don't let the people take your lack and use it against you because you want to be somewhere that you've never been before, because you want to sit at certain tables, because you want to be in certain lights. Don't allow these people to dangle this money over you and use it as bait for your devastation.
Fame and fortune. You know, a lot of people, it's not about money. It's the being just famous on social media for that quick second. It's not worth it.
We got to stick to something at some point and fight the right. Let's fight these fights that's going to really help our community. Because when I say our community, right? Okay. When I say our community, I know that's kind of cliche, but when I say our community, each other, because it starts in a community. A community can be infectious in a good way or a bad way. So let's be infectious in a good way, the way we can concentrate one community and it can grow and bloom in such a way that it progresses to the next community and so forth and so forth. Let's do that because we got to take it back. We're dealing with wickedness and principalities and high places. This ain't about flesh and blood. This ain't about what you think you know. This is different. That things that we talk about that happening, that's different. That's not. Think about people's minds that you got to do to just wake up and come shoot something up. Just shoot up. That's a listen, people. Look, you ain't got to believe in nothing, but you gotta know what it is. You can't be oblivious to what's around you. This is on spiritual warfare.
Yes, it is.
So pick your side and pick it wisely because you have to pay the consequences for your actions. Period.
Stand up for something.
I'm not.
Anything.
Come on, talk to the people. I'm not trying to convert you. I ain't trying to do nothing. All I'm trying to say is, for real, this is a time not to play. This is a time to be very mindful and understand, baby. You gotta pick a side and stay in there and stand in it. Because this is not the time to be lukewarm.
Right.
For real. This is not the season. This is not the...
It's dark and ugly outside.
What?
It is.
People have no regard for human life.
But,
Go ahead.
we can go out.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead and finish your sentence and I'm going to wrap it up. Come on, baby. Because I'm messing it up.
They just got our mindset wrapped on things that doesn't mean anything. And we take that to heart.
World is of no value.
Of no value. Everything is social media. What I look
Black
good
men
and
need to be black dads. All black men need to be black fathers. All black women need to be black mothers.
Yes.
but it's loving each other though. Loving each other. Black women and black men need to learn how to come together and learn how to talk to each other, communicate.
Yes.
Because it's not all of that mess that they pushed on us, all that stereotype. That stems. We could sit here all day.
Yeah,
that
talk
stems
about
from
that.
movies.
Come on, Leo.
That they stereotype and how we supposed to.
You and I
Right, and that's
can't find love like this brother and sister here.
we
understand.
basing our relationships off of what they're giving us in our movies. Stereotypes.
Stereotype.
Time for change.
How mothers and the mother and the father, not even calling each other mother and fathers. That's a step down. We calling each other baby daddies and baby mamas.
Yeah.
That stems from
Yeah.
the movies. We're better than that.
We are.
We're more than that. We're mothers and fathers. We're not
Yes.
just breeders, baby daddies and baby mamas.
Come on.
We are mothers and fathers.
And fathers. That mean we're instilling value
Mm-hmm.
into our offspring.
Start making.
Yes.
Right. I seen a post where a brother said, whether you with that mother or not, love and show respect to your child's mother because your child's mother is who's dealing with your child on a daily basis.
Facts.
I lost one, remember?
Yes.
I
Facts.
just lost one of my kids' mother.
Sorry about that.
One of my best friends.
Sorry about that. And that's what we gotta understand what works best for you and yours, and stop trying to live up to the status quo. Is there anything else you would like to say? Because my time
I know you
is
gotta wrap it up. No,
is,
that's it. 'Cause you know, you and I can sit with this.
I know we can talk for this for a long time.
Open up eyes, people. Let me take notes. They talking about they on stay on one.
Oh what? So yeah, we'll close about and tell us something about you. Tell us something. I want to hear your voice one more time.
Thursday night, come on out. June 2nd at Sweet Royale, 2622 Detroit, Portsmouth, Virginia. And Wednesday, June 1st, another one of my mentors is dragging me out to do another poetry slam on 35th Street in Norfolk. So I'm going to try to come and make it. Last time I made it to the second round. I'm going to try to make it to the third round this time.
Okay. Third round hitter. Well, make sure y'all stay on the lookout for Miss Nairobi Brown, a.k.a. Kiba, Queen Kiba. Look, she's a very dope, inspirational woman. Very, very dope. And I appreciate you for coming out and letting me interview you this evening. Go ahead, tell her what that
If you guys would like to purchase any one of my books or ones that will be coming out, you can find them on the website lulu.com, and you can also find them at Barnes and Nobles online. And other websites. I know I pulled it up and I was shocked. I said, Tariq, you can find out books in so many places all across the country. So that felt good.
So just if you Google it, come on now, you probably can find it.
I've had people buy the book and say it didn't just help with child loss, just losing someone. So
come on now, it's food for thought for you now. So check her out. And again, it's been such an honor to sit here and be with you. And guys, thank you guys for tuning in. It has been another dope episode of Tspills here at Power by Virginia. Also, shout out again to Miss Malika TBD. Shout out to Loud. Shout out to my mama. I love you because I know you're watching. You know I love you, Mom. I'm sorry if you guys were talking tonight. For some reason, my phone didn't let me see the comments. But you know what it is. I appreciate you for tuning in with me. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And that means so very much to me. Big love. Stay blessed, stay up, and stay sucker free. Check out Miss Nairobi Brown. And check me out next week. Oh, and Queen Tulip. No. Yup, Queen Tulip Penny. Oh, shoot. Queen Penny Tulip is coming on next, right after me. Right after me. So tune in, baby. I love y'all. Stay blessed, stay up, and stay sucker free. Ayo.
By Virginia. Radio.